Ever heard of North America's lost metropolis? In 1965, archaeologists made a shocking discovery in Illinois. They found the remains of a giant city just 20 miles from downtown St. Louis. The city was enormous, filled with towering temples and mysterious artifacts. But here's the thing. This city was built long before European settlers arrived. It was constructed by an ancient civilization that we're only beginning to understand. The city's name was Cahokia, and it thrived during the year 1050 A.D. At this time, the population of London, England, was around 3,000 people. Meanwhile, Cahokia boasted about 5,000 residents, making it one of the largest cities in all of North America. And yet today, very few people know about it. But while archaeologists have uncovered a lot of information about the city, many questions still remain. For example, why did the city get abandoned? Where did the civilization go? And what happened to their descendants? Unfortunately, history has not been kind to the people of Cahokia, but we're going to do our best to answer these questions and uncover the mystery of the lost city. The story of Cahokia begins with a group of Native Americans called the Mississippians. Between the years 800 and 1200 A.D., they created a large chiefdom that spanned parts of Illinois, Missouri, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Now, back then, most settlements were small villages with less than 1,000 people. So a settlement with 1,000 residents would have been massive. Cahokia wasn't just large, though. It was also highly organized. In fact, it was probably the most complex society in pre-Columbian America. The city was meticulously planned and incredibly diverse. People from all over North America came here to trade goods and ideas. The main attraction in Cahokia was the huge earthen mounds that dotted the landscape. There were at least 40 mounds built by the city's residents, but the biggest was clearly the centerpiece. This mound, known as Monk's Hill, stood at an astonishing 100 feet tall and contained 17 million cubic feet of dirt. To put this in perspective, the Great Pyramid of Giza is 450 feet tall and contains 5.7 million blocks of stone. So Monk's Hill was much smaller, but considering that it was made without any advanced tools or machines, it's still pretty impressive. Archaeologists believe that the mound was used for religious ceremonies and possibly as a burial site for important members of society. Another interesting feature of Cahokia was its Woodhenge. Built around 1000 A.D., this structure was incredibly accurate for its time period. It consisted of 40 wooden posts that were set up in a circle, and they were placed so precisely that they could predict astronomical events such as solstices and equinoxes. There were also several other settlements near Cahokia, including the somewhat infamous City of the Sun. According to legend, the city got its name because every morning the rising sun would shine directly into the center of the town. Although it's never been confirmed, some historians believe that Cahokia was actually the mythical city of the biblical Garden of Eden. They point to the city's location on the confluence of two rivers as evidence for this theory. Unfortunately, life in Cahokia didn't last forever. Around 1400, the city was completely abandoned. The reason for this is unknown, but some believe that climate change may have played a role. Others think that the city simply grew too big for its resources to support. Whatever the reason, the city was completely deserted by the time European explorers arrived in the area. As you can imagine, there are still a lot of unanswered questions about Cahokia. Who were the descendants of the Mississippians? What happened to their culture and traditions? And where did they go? Sadly, these questions may never be answered. But one thing is certain. Cahokia was once a thriving metropolis that rivaled some of the largest cities in Europe. So the next time you're near St. Louis, take a day trip to the nearby archaeological site. You can explore the ruins of the city and learn about the fascinating history of the Mississippians. It's truly a humbling experience to walk among the ancient mounds and ruins, and it's a reminder that there's still so much that we don't know about the world. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.